What's up guys, BltzZ here today bringing you another video. In today's video, I'm going to bring back a popular series we did a few months ago, where we talked about the Remake Definitive Edition changes we wanted and what we hope was going to be implemented into Remake Part 2 or future releases. Now that Intergrade has been announced, it also showed us a slight look at what changes they are bringing to the future. So let's talk about what changes we want to see for Remake Part 2 when that finally drops sometime in 2023, hopefully. But there is also the chance that many more updates could be showcased that are coming with Intergrade when more trailers come out as it gets closer to the release date in June 2021. We already discussed reasons as to why the PlayStation 4 unfortunately will not be getting the Yuffie DLC. If you have not yet, be sure to check out that video on the top right. But there is something I forgot to mention that most definitely played a huge part in that decision, which is also our very first change we'd be seeing in Remake Part 2 thanks to Next Gen. In Remake Part 1, there was one thing that was memed a lot and complained about, the whole crouching and slow walking areas to load the game's level for the player. On a PlayStation 4, they felt this was necessary because of how often the areas would need to load. But on a PlayStation 5, with their super fast SSD and the loading time they showcase us in the trailer, this does not seem like it will be much of an issue going forward with Remake's development. But if we think about it, Yuffie is a ninja. We see her going through the trailer while running as well as swinging and jumping across chasms. Maybe they got rid of those implementations for her DLC as it wasn't needed because of next-gen capabilities. We haven't seen if they have any slow walking or loading scenes for Yuffie yet, but this definitely won't be needed on a PlayStation 5 or next-gen period. So that decision must have been easy for them to come to grips with, especially with how negatively the fandom reacted towards that mechanic. I mean, guys, really, many of my comments regarding the remake's negative aspects always bring up that in particular, that this game had either no combat or was a walking/loading new areas simulator, and most players spent most time crouch walking than actually playing the game. A bit of an over-exaggeration, but that's just how all my comments are sometimes. You guys just have no idea how many times a day I receive that in a video. So going forward into next gen, the level design for Remake's iterations could further be improved on thanks to these awesome SSDs we have in these consoles, because we can all agree that Remake Part 1 was definitely a hallway simulator with a lackluster level design. With the loading capabilities, it could allow for an even bigger world map or zone than we are anticipating. I for one think this is very exciting and I can't wait to see what else is to come from this. One thing I want to see Part 2 change up a bit are how limit breaks are used. Limit breaks in Remake barely show up compared to the original Final Fantasy VII, unless you are in a very long fight, or you are using our instant limit break build, which allows you to use a limit break anytime you want and in any battle you want without the use of the Gotterdammerung. Check out that video on the top right, by the way, guys. But rightfully so, limit breaks are crazy powerful. One thing that bothered me from the original game was that once you got better limit breaks, there was no reason to go back and use the earlier ones. The original game also had a similar thing with the weapons as well, where you could get a new weapon, then toss it aside, and you'll never get to use that older one again once you upgrade it. However, in Remake, they introduced that all weapons are viable and usable, and each one can cater to a specific playstyle for that character. And you can unlock its weapon ability to use with all weapons if you are proficient enough with it. This was a very huge and new mechanic that I absolutely loved in Remake because the Buster Sword is so iconic and cool, and it sucked how in the original game you just never really needed to use it again after you leave Midgar. Even in Remake, the same could be said for the limit breaks, where once you got Ascension, there was no reason to use Cross Slash anymore, and Tifa Somersault once you got Dolphin Flurry. In Remake Part 2, I hope limit breaks come up in a battle more often, but aside from that, I want a little bit more depth behind them. Maybe limit breaks could provide enemy debuffs or character buffs to keep us switching between them, like how in the original game, Cross Slash would actually stop or freeze an enemy randomly if you use it on them. It'd be cool if that worked in Remake as well. And yes, in Remake they increased stagger and instantly pressure enemies, but it would be cool if they added other effects like giving Cloud maybe 2 times more damage for 30 seconds, something of the sort really. Giving each character's limit break a special effect I think would be very unique and go a long way in improving the system and making each player's characters different. Another thing I would love to see added into Remake Part 2 is team combos. We already got a taste of this with the Yuffie DLC between her and Sonon. We see her jumping from his polearm and executing team combos. I hope this is further expanded on and unique for each party member too, with multiple animations to make each use unique. It's going to be absolutely something else to launch Tifa from Cloud's sword and watch them assist each other from an aerial combo as well. The possibilities are endless, but at least we know how Cid's combos and fighting style just might be, thanks to Sonon's gameplay in this trailer. It seems as if you are pressing L2, it brings up the team combo command for Sonon or some type of ability he has on the top left of his status bar. This is definitely something that could be unique if they really take the time to implement all the possibilities we could have with other party members too. This is all just kind of exciting thinking about it, guys. This is the kind of stuff that adds personality to the characters and the entire game system. Remake Part 1 had tons of personality, but of course, we can crank that up higher for next gen, right Square? The next change I would love to see is that 68% of you guys that watch and love these videos hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for getting us to 31.6%. Let's try to hit that 40% mark. We are almost there. The time has come for all Final Fantasy VII fans to come together, and what better channel to do it on than here? We got tons of guides, more remake coverage, and of course, all the news updates you guys need. So become a subscriber today and help support the channel you guys love. Being a subscriber is totally free and is an amazing way to help support the channel. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys, and I'm looking forward to another amazing year with you all. And I wish you guys all the best. And another huge welcome change I would love to see implemented into Remake is the capabilities of co-op with a friend. For a long time, since I was a kid, me and my friends used to watch each other and take turns playing Final Fantasy VII. We always wondered if they could implement a co-op aspect, letting a friend choose and control another character in battle and making battle choices for them. I don't think this is something impossible for them to implement into part 2. The host of the lobby would have the party access the host materials list on the host save file, so this way the game can't be broken with other parties' materials being used as well. However, if they decided on this, I could see it working with the VR training room too, which I'm all for. This would lead to so much replayability on stream, especially with you guys, and also allow them to do more challenges monthly to VR for us to tackle. Maybe boss time attacks or super crazy challenges like what the top secrets fight was. Let me know what you guys think about this one. The co-op would not be a forced thing in the story, but more of an optional experience that you can share with a friend. Another change we're definitely going to have thrown to us is the way summons function. In Remake Part 1, the summons were limited by the stage space and arena battles. This was the case when we're trying to use any big summons like Shiva, Leviathan, Ifrit, and Bahamut, but the smaller summons such as Carbuncle, Cactuar, and Chocobo Chick are able to be used in any fight in any arena since they're smaller. We can already tell by how much the PlayStation 4 limited the flexibility of Remake Part 1 alone from that with the summons. But we're bound to see more summons with Remake Part 2 and also get to get more use out of them, which will definitely make them feel like a fearful presence. Let me know in the comments below if you like controlling the summons abilities like we did in Remake Part 1, or are you more hoping that they go back to the traditional Final Fantasy VII where the summon has a cutscene and does one big attack then leaves, because they kind of still do that in a way once their time is up and we get that animation to close out their entrance for Remake Part 1. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me about what will happen with our materia, gil, items, and weapons going into Part 2. Now, if you ask me, I think that we would still keep all of our weapons and items except the God of Dameron because it's goddamn broken. And we might keep a percentage of our gil, but not the whole thing because some of us will have well over 2 million gil. And that wouldn't be fun in my opinion to walk around and be able to buy all the items, weapons, and stuff like that on the first playthrough. And we ended the game at level 50, so I'm thinking that instead of starting back from level 6, maybe we start at level 50, but the stats have been crunched. Sort of like what MMOs do after a certain amount of expansions. The levels are still up there, but the stats and damage numbers are much smaller to match the beginning phases a little bit more. Because we can't come out there swinging 9999s out the gates for Part 2. That would just be ridiculous. I think our materia, however, might be tricky because we do have Kyuraga and Thundagas and mastered materias. Maybe they drop our materias back to level 1 because they are synthetic man-made materia from Chadley, since they don't have a strong potency like open world materia maybe. Because in the original game, once we left Midgar is usually around the time when one of our magic spells would have leveled up once, whereas in Remake we got them all maxed out. So starting our materias from level 1 there wouldn't really bother me, to be honest. And now that I think about it, start us back from level like 15 or 16 as far as our actual levels goes, because I actually want to feel a purpose for leveling up, and 50 is just way too high to start a game from. And to be fair, when we beat the normal mode of Remake, we technically beat it around level like 37 or something like that, so that wouldn't be too bad considering that. And another thing for materias I do want to see is some of the purple materias turn into passive abilities, such as Skill Master, Parry Materia, Deadly Dodge, ATB Assist, and many others. Those are great materias, but they're way too important and take up way too many materia slots, which prevents us from making even more unique builds. Plus, I don't think it really fits the lore behind materia being the planet's energy source, teaching us how to Deadly Dodge or Parry. It just doesn't fit the game to me. So please turn them into passive abilities or give each character a unique trait that they bring to the party. I think that would be a really good implementation right there. And that wraps it up for this video, guys. Those are the changes I think we will be seeing in Remake Part 2, as well as some hopeful ones that I would definitely love to see. Let me know what you guys think about these. It was a lot of fun brainstorming what we could expect to see, and it makes me more excited for Remake Intergrade to finally drop so we can see what directions they could be heading in. Because you know your boy loves to look at these things with a magnifying glass and create all kinds of predictions. This video topic was a lot of fun to bring back, so please leave a comment and let me know which ones you guys do like, or which ones would you guys like to see added into Remake Part 2 if you have your own ideas. We very well could even see more DLC added to the game before Remake Part 2 drops, but that's for another video. Till then, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy VII Remake videos are coming your way and you won't want to miss them. My name is Blitz and thanks for watching.